Okay, going to be showcasing the Ravenwood Drop That mod. I'm just going to use this little Egyptian sort of scenery I have here as a place to do it. Alright, so first, let's tab out. This is the mod page here. Um, and just to give you, I'm going to go ahead and just read through this mod page just a little bit. So again, this is a collection of several mods, and by a collection of several mods, it's going to be using, or it can use, these mods here. You don't have to use all these. You can just use whichever part of this mod that you want. This is a pretty cool part of it. Again, you don't have to use this. You can edit it out. You can edit anything the way that you want it if you know what you're doing. But this really helps add some treasure chests, which I think are cool. Which we'll start up here with treasure chest. We have some basic treasure chests for each biome, and these are going to drop vanilla items. So these are not going to be modded items. These are just going to be vanilla items, and there's quite a bit to this. The bosses are going to drop these chests at 100% chance. And then there's going to be like, there's also epic and legendary variations of each of the treasure chests. And these are additional rolls on top of the standard roll. So you're going to roll for this. This is going to be, you're going to get one of these every time you kill a boss. You're going to have a 10% chance to also get one of these, and then a 1% chance to also get one of these. And you can see we might have a little bit of a comparison here. These are the standard ones. So Meadows Treasure, you know, it's not going to be a lot. You're guaranteed to get some resin, 25% chance to get some wood, 25% chance to get deer meat. Same thing for honey coins. You've got a very, very low percent chance to actually get equipment. You've got 1% chance, and that's going to be common for the standard treasure chest. Now these percentages on the equipment goes up whenever you get into the epic and legendary. So you see here it's 1% for the standard chest, goes up to 10% for epic, 20% for legendary. You still may not get no equipment from legendary, but the odds are greatly increased, and you get a little bit more of other stuff as well. But each one of these is its own roll. So it's not a 20% chance to get one of these. It's a 20% chance on each and every single roll, so you could get multiple items. So it increases the base chance here. So legendary chest, you're probably going to get at least one equipment item, if not two. But it's possible you'll get zero. But these, again, are 1%. Every time you'd have to kill 100 bosses just probably to get one of these. So it's pretty rare. This is going to be for every biome. Here you can see sort of what's in this. I'm going to show this in game as well. I just want to quickly go over kind of what's in the mod, and then I'm going to bring it back into the game. But you can see here, like, elite creatures have a chance to drop chest, and then like modded creatures as well if you're using those mods. Then we have resource chest. Now this is going to be exclusive if you're using the restorations mod, because the restorations mod has extra resources. So if we go to, these are the resources right here. You have wood, stone, rock, rations, and runes. These are extra resources that are used from different mods, and so these chests are just going to help you get those resources. Similar concept. We have the elemental dragons. This is a huge one to be able to craft the eggs to make your dragons. These are very difficult to get without this mod, because it's going to add essences and souls to most of the monsters drop tables relevant to that. There's still going to be rare drops, because you need 1,000 essences of that elemental type for each dragon egg, and you need 10 souls. So these are going to be more rare, and then dragon hearts are ultra rare. And so this is going to be a big part if you're using elemental dragons. This really helps you with that. Again, you can see like what it takes to make the dragon eggs here, and this really helps get more of these. Then we have like our finite items, things like tree seeds. Now you don't got to worry about running out of tree seeds. They're still going to be rare, but you're going to be able to get these from various creatures and bosses. You're going to have a chance to get those biomes, and this also gives the RTD biomes tree seeds as well. So it gives you a chance to get some more of the RTD biomes tree seeds also. My Ravenwood Biomes mod is going to come out in a few weeks, which I'll be adding some of those in here as well. It's not out yet, but it will be out soon. Things like iron scraps, added those to the goblins since they got black metal already. Just some extra iron here. Other things like Rancid Remains, you can't really, it becomes finite, so we've added it as a 1 in 500 chance to skeletons. Super rare. Same thing for the other trophies here from the Hildor, however you say it. Hildur, you're going to have a 1 in 1,000 chance from skeletons, cultists, and goblins to get those trophies. And goblin berserkers. So nothing's going to be finite. Gave this chance for dragons here. I just think that'd be fun. This is just some extra stuff here. Some extra drops here. You got queen bees from the meadows boss here from Monstrum, and some other stuff here. Blue mushrooms. Some mods use this. My pieces mod uses blue mushrooms for one of the lights. My biomes mod is actually going to allow you to make and find blue mushrooms in the world. So when that comes out, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep these or not, but these are useful for some people. Ectoplasm, extra drops there. We have epic loot stuff here, all this different stuff to help you get more shards, stuff like that. Yeah, and all this stuff right here, you get more chance at shards. Runestones are basically saved for bosses. So wild dragons are pretty much like a little mini boss here, so they have very rare chances of runestone. We have distance origin stuffs, which some of the stuff comes from traders, different things. These are just some extra drops, so you don't have to get it from a trader. You have a very rare chance to get some of these things, like parrots. You get a 1% chance from the elite draugrs. Ship wheels, 1% chance from the draugrs, and so on. And some scarabs from Yagala, just because I thought it made sense, and so on. Some of these things will drop extra distance origin series drops. All bosses have a 25% chance to drop some of their related ore. Other big thing with this is all trophies are 5% chance on base monsters, 25% chance on bosses. I think this makes the game more fun. It does create a unique scenario for Ether because on average it will take you 160 deer kills to get one Ether trophy. This is just one crazy scenario because on average you're going to need to kill 40 deer to be able to summon Ether, and then Ether is 25% chance. So if you have bad luck, you might have to kill 160 deer to get one Ether trophy, which makes this pretty valuable. I think that's a cool scenario. It just happens because of the way I have this set up. But Hildur monster drops are 100% and 1 per player. That's kind of the balance there. But I really like this. I think it makes the game more fun. Trophies have more meaning. Even bosses are 25% chance. It feels more rewarding. This mod is going to make some things more difficult, some things more easy. Not really more easy, but more sense. Like, I don't think that anything should be finite. So I think adding those finite items makes sense. But on the other hand, some things are going to be more difficult, which we'll get to soon. You are going to see now we have these modded armor drops, which you're going to think, oh, that's going to make things easier. Well, I think it makes things more fun because the monsters are going to be more difficult to kill, especially as they're starred. So here, this is mostly for the Ravenwood Beast mod, but I am going to add some to some other mods eventually whenever I put out my own monster mod as well on top of the Beast. So for example, the Forest Elves have a 1 in 200 chance to drop Forest Sentinel set items. I believe there's 4 set items, but this is a roll on each one. So it's, whatever the math is there, it's like a 1.5 to 2% chance of getting one of these items. Still very, very low, and these monsters in this mod are going to have more health, more damage than the average monster in those biomes. And as they get starred, it's going to scale pretty drastic. Not all the monsters have set items, but I gave a lot of them set items just because I think it kind of fits with the theme here. You can see these different sort of set items. These kind of have an elvish sort of appearance for a lot of the elves here. Now the South Sill, we've got samurai, werewolves, but a lot of it is going to be the orcs. So we've got a lot of orcs here, and the South Sill armor looks really good for the orcs. So every single orc has a chance to drop a different set item. There's 5 orc clans, and each clan has a scout, so there's basically 10 orcs and a boss. So as we see here, This Warsong Scout is going to be only in the meadows at night, and so it has a chance to drop a really good meadow set here. This is a really good set. The Warsong Orc is in the forest, and so it has this sort of foresty meadow set as well. And each one of these makes sense, and they are very rare chances here. So again, you're looking at about a less than 3% chance of getting one of the items, but again, these monsters are going to be more on the elite side to kill. And you can see here all these different ones, and they sort of make sense. Like this one right here, I think gives you immunity to poison, and you got an orc here, which is in the swamp and all that, all the way to the ashlands here. And then I added, Fedor is the only vanilla creature that I've added a modded armor set to. I thought it makes sense. This Flame Drake set here, I think, makes sense. Then Armory, we've got the dwarves here with some mountain sets. And then the Frostwick Orc also has a set from Armory. I've added Odin Steelworks for some stuff like the dwarves. Got that in there. And then here's some other various Ravenwood Beast drops here. You can see all that here. And then we're going to get into the monster reinforcements later. This is a cool concept. I'll come back to this later. And finally, we will finish with this Niflheim stuff. I tried to make Niflheim playable again, which I also think is super cool. So we will get to that. But first, let's go back up to the treasure chest here. Alright, so we can see here, we got some treasure chest. And let's find the Meadows one. So that, again, is the base Meadows treasure chest. So if you get one of these that drops, you'll see here, we can shift right-click on it. So I'm going to absolutely get some resin. What else I get, we'll see. All I got was the resin. So let's just go ahead and I'm going to get 10 of these. We'll see what happens when I open 10. And again, it's going to be random. And Meadows treasure chests are not designed to be very good. As you see here, I got a bunch of resin. I got some deer meat, some wood, a few coins, and some honey. Again, some Meadows chests. So those are not designed to be that great. Now let's find Black Forest chest. So here we can see that we have, forest tier gear. We have a 1% chance at bronze items, troll items, etc. Just go ahead and quickly open 10 of these. Maybe we'll get a bronze armor item. Maybe we won't. Odds are that we will not. Again, it's even from 10 chests. Maybe you get one item. See, we didn't even get one single armor set there. Eventually, I'm sure we'll get one. I'm going to do 10 for each real quick. Here we got the swamp chest. And you can just see how rare it is to actually get one of these equipment items. But when you do, it will still feel rewarding. Oh, look, we got one. Yeah, we got an iron buckler. Did we got 2 iron bucklers. Let me put something up here. That way we're not... Yeah, so we got more lucky on the swamp chest here. You see the coins are coming up, and we just so happen to get 2 iron bucklers. So we go back to the mountains chest here. There's a mountains chest. So we get out of 10 of these. Oh, we got getting lucky with the mountains chest. We got obsidian. Let's see, we got Finner's Hood. And we got a chest plate. That's pretty good. Go to the plains chest here. Let me click that. This is probably going to be a pretty long video, by the way. I've been pretty lucky again. We can see how this is. Look at that. Oh, that's pretty good. We got 3 items there. Axe. And these will have, like I said, a very rare chance to drop from elite creatures as well, but mainly this is a boss reward. And we can go to the Mistlands here. And we got one. We got a carapace armor item there. You kind of get the theme. It's pretty balanced, designed to be rewarding. The bosses should be harder if you're playing on hard difficulty. And using things like CLLC. Here we go. Let's see what we got. pretty lucky, but you see how the coins, the value there is going up slowly. The cloak. Alright, so now, oh, there's also an ocean one. Yeah, I did add ocean here. So these will drop from like ocean monsters, obviously. It's a little bit different than the other chest, but I tried to make it kind of balanced as well. As you see, we got all this fishing bait here, which I thought was kind of a cool idea. Standard oceans chest here. Let's see what happens when we open up 10 of these. Probably get all sorts of different fishing baits. Yep. Bunch of fish. Chitlin, coins. Mossy. Yeah, the higher tier is more rare, as you see. It's a little bit more rare the higher the tier fish. So here are legendary. Here's the epic. Okay, so now we'll be looking at epic. I'm just going to do this for one biome because it's just going to scale no matter what. So we're going to, let's do, let's see, I want to do swamp. Oh, I don't want that. So we'll do 10 epic and 10 legendary. So we're going to open 10 epic and see what happens out of 10 epic. You're going to see a drastic difference now because the odds have greatly increased. Wouldn't be surprised if this actually fills up. Let's just get rid of these real quick. Yeah, there's a big difference here. See, I can't even keep up with it all. We've got all this huge increase in the amount of stuff that you're getting whenever we get these here. So the odds definitely increase, and then it's going to be even more for the legendary. The legendary is going to be nuts. I'm just going to open 5 legendaries. So as you see, pretty much every legendary got you something. It doesn't have to, but the odds are you're probably going to get something for every legendary box. And that's how it is designed. Then we will go to the Ravenwood chest now. Now these are going to be for the restorations mod. As you see here, same concept. We have the normal. Then we have actually each color is a different. So the purple is just going to be the wood. The blue is going to be the stone and the rock, and then the red is going to be rations. So this one's going to have 2 resources. The rock is more valuable, so it's more rare. So if we just have, then each biome increases the amount that you can get. That was the best way I could balance this, as you can see here. And then there is, let's see, an epic version of this as well. Oh, no, that's actually the Raven rune. Okay, so as you see, the Meadows versions here, you're just going to be getting probably 1 each. Now, if we get like Mistlands versions, probably going to be getting a few more. So we have 6 there to 11. So it scales to where you get a few more resources, the higher the biome. Same thing here. Oh, we actually got 1 of each. But I'm going to assume that sometimes we're not going to get, yeah, see there we just got the 1. And the same thing here. These are rations and so on. That's how it works. And then very, very rarely you might get a rune stone chest, which these are more valuable. Those are going to be used for storage bags mod, and it's weird. We can use that for the restorations mod. So the restorations mod, I got so many things open. They're going to use things like the Ravenwood, the stone, different things. You can build like farms, all sorts of different sorts of things, bookcases, mailboxes. You got your own little chest here. So this mod uses these resources, and then also let's use a forge here. Yeah, so our forge is also going to use for these bags. So these are going to be part of the storage bag mod. If you use the storage bag, you're going to also use those for that, and then some other things as well. So then if we make a bag, Butcher Sack, I don't have that yet. And then we go to upgrade it. You're going to see that we're going to continue to use these resources as we upgrade one of these 20 plus bags here. And those resources will continue to increase. So it's another use of the these treasure chests here. But again, this is everything in this mod is up to you to use what you want. Now we have the dragon stuff. So if I throw down a artisan table here, craft, we'll do dragon. You'll see here these dragon eggs require all these essences and souls, and again 1,000 essences, 10 souls, 1 dragon heart. And then the black dragon egg is nuts because it requires all 4, which is just an insane amount of resources. So any sort of creature is going to possibly drop some sort of related essence. So if we just go to monsters here, just any of these, like obviously bone mass is going to drop something poison related. So if I go over here and I just start summoning bone mass, I'm sure bone mass probably has a guaranteed chance to drop poison essences, and it has a small chance to drop poison souls. So let's turn off auto pickup. And here you can just see some of the things that this mod is dropping here. This is from Distant Origins. Here are the essences I was talking about. So here we got some essences of poison. And there's some other stuff here. But the boss drops a lot of stuff. So let me go to one of the actual new monsters from... Here's a poison here. Alright, so this is actually also from the Dragon mod. These are cultists. I'm just going to go and spawn 10 of them. Oh, I did that wrong. You can see here, obviously dropped a bunch of essences. And no souls. It's got a rare chance at souls, so let's do 20 of these. Maybe out of 20, maybe we'll get a few souls, let's see. And should be able to spot the difference here. So that's from Niflheim. More. This is going to be a pretty rare drop. I think it's 3% from these guys. Just pretty rare. Still don't see one. One of these I killed it easier for me to see because it won't get cluttered. Wait, is that a, nope, that's an essence. There it is, right here. So here we have a soul. So you can see the essences. They're a lot easier to get essences. The souls are very rare. So again, it takes 10 of these to be able to start summoning your dragon. So it's cool to have all these different monsters drop these extra resources. Also, these essences and souls have other purposes. So we can, and this is part of an unreleased mod, but this is an extra table. So this is part of my Ravenwood biomes mod that's going to come out. It's going to allow you to use these essences and souls from a new crafting station where you can make these World of Warcraft like potions. Here we've got essences here. This is like just the minor variations. We can go all the way up to the mythic versions. They last an hour each. We've got 4 of these. So if I go here, you can see we've got 20 armor here, 40 health, 40 ether, and 40 stamina. And they last 1 hour each. Each one of these requires 10 of those essences, plus the, biome specific stuff. There's 4 different tiers here. So I can use all 4 of these at the same time. And now we have extra 40 health, 20 armor, max ether, and stamina, and so on here. So these are some extra uses for the dragon essences, and there's going to be more. You can also make these potions with, if you don't have the biomes mod, which no one does right now, it'll be out in a few weeks. You can also make it at another table. I think it's just a cauldron. So if you do not use the biomes mod, I believe, if I remember, it's slightly different recipes, but you're going to have 2 options. Maybe it's here. Yes, it is here. So we're going to notice some slight differences in the recipes, but they're still going to use essences. So if I go to the mythic defense potion, we've got 10 essences. We've got this right here. If I go over here to the mythic defense potion, this one is, so here I've added in the new mushrooms from biomes. So again, this is a little bit of a sneak peek. We'll see if I can, let's do, oh, that's what's going on. Okay. So the biome spawn is going to add a few items. We're adding in green and purple mushrooms, some new recipes. It's going to be a part of the cultivator here. So you're going to have all these new items that you can place. They can spawn in the world through expanded world. And it's going to do some pretty crazy stuff, but that's not this mod. We'll get to that in another video. So anyways, back to here. Again, so we're going to want to have a lot of these. So this is going to help with that. And again, I can just pick pretty much any random monster. It's probably, I would say over half the monsters have these. Tameable monsters do not have extra resources because that would be too easy. So things like wolves, boar, they do not have essences or souls because that would make things way too easy. But almost everything else that you can think of that would make sense is going to have it. Let's try to find a cultist here. So cultist, you're not going to see it here because it's part of the drop that, but you will see it in the drop that info. So I'm sure that a cultist is going to have a chance to drop probably fire. I'm going to assume that we're going to get some fire essences. Or maybe it's frost. Let's see, we didn't get any there. Might be rare chance. Let's see. These are from the Distance Origins mod. Here we go. Yeah, so we did get some fire essences. They are rare, but we did get some essences of fire. So that's basically what you think it would be is what it's going to be. Alright, so now we'll go back here. And again, dragon hearts are only going to be from dragons. Drakes will have a 1 in 10,000 chance because they're easy to kill. That's how rare dragon hearts are going to be. The wild elemental dragons are new for the elemental dragons mod. And then Fedor and Modor will have a 5 and 2% chance. So if I go ahead and spawn, and we may end up seeing some reinforcement sort of stuff that we'll get to later whenever I do this. Let's just see how lucky we get here. I'm going to just spawn, get 40, bam, we're going to spawn 120. And we'll see if we get 1. Yeah, and you see here, we're getting some reinforcements, which we'll go into later. Some drakes respawning here. Alright, we can see how rare these trophies are too. Let's see if, oh, look at that, we got one. Oh no, that's a soul, not a dragon heart. But still, these souls are pretty rare. It's pretty cool to see whenever you get these souls here. Here we go, we did get a dragon heart. So this is a 1 in 100 chance from the wild dragons, I think. Yes, 1 in 100. So we did end up getting 1 dragon heart. We may have got, let's see if we got more. We got 2. And looks like we just got 2. So that's about what you would expect. And you can already start seeing some of these treasure chests. Some of the things that you get from killing this many of these dragons. So let's clear this. And then, just for the sake of it, again, this is a 1 in 10,000 chance of a dragon heart. And they have like a 1 in 1,000 chance of a dragon egg. I'm going to do 200 just to see if we get lucky. That's all I'm going to do. Let's do 100 at a time so it doesn't kill us here. Let's go ahead and do, let's just see, do 400. Odds are we're not going to see, oh, we did get a dragon egg. I believe that's a 1 in 1,000 chance. So that in itself is pretty rare. But I doubt we're going to get a dragon heart. I do, that's 1 in 10,000. We got a few eggs actually. Maybe the eggs are 1 in 100. Yeah, I think the eggs are 1 in 100. Yeah, so that actually evened out. I think we got 4. So that made sense. But yeah, no dragon hearts. But it can happen. If we do. This will be my last one. Can't happen, but it's ultra rare. Nope, didn't happen. Alright, so now... yeah, tree seeds. I think this is pretty cool. Things like gray dwarfs, dropping basic tree seeds and all that. Should be getting like some different... You're going to notice these spirits from distant origins as well. Oh, we got some reinforcements there. And these reinforcements are things that have added, which again, we'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah, there's a... no, that's a trophy. Seeing some essences here. Oh, this is from the Niflheim. One of the 12 crests. Have them scattered between some 12 different elite monsters here. It's also Niflheim. This is actually a pretty rare chance. 3% chance on these is pretty rare. Just to even get beach seeds there, so... So... oh, those birch... okay, so these are birch seeds. Let me see. 3% chance. Oh, graylings are the ones that got the... okay, I'm typing the wrong thing. So I was almost having to check my code, but it looks like that's right. So when I pull this up, we're probably going to see like 5 or 6 of them. Yeah, we got 3 of them. Okay, yeah, so that's working. No errors yet. Same thing. We're seeing the same stuff here. Iron scraps. We'll summon some... we're going to see the black metal still, but there should also be some iron scraps here. Kind of hard to see the difference here. Look at that bright. There's some iron scrap. Okay, so we did get some there. Okay, and yes, we got some, that's very rare. 1 in 1,000. These are pretty rare skeletons, but should be pretty easy to see though. Test this. This should not take long to find. And as you see here, these skeletons are what I'm calling undead reanimations, which is where they can drop themselves with a very low chance, which again, we'll get to that in a little bit. Actually, it might be kind of hard for me to find the trophy for this. Oh, we got 2. Look at that, we got 2, so let's see. Let's see if I can find it here. Should be 1 right there, yeah. So that is working fine. We got pretty lucky on that. So that is working. Yeah, these have the ectoplasm drops, extra epic loot stuff. And yeah, so here, jog our elites, let's do that. This is a 1 in 100 chance. guys have a chance to also spawn Draugrs, so part of the reinforcements or something here. Yep, there it is, right there. We've got a parrot cage. Pretty rare. Got two of them. Okay. Ore drops, extra chances from bosses here. Again, about the trophies, 5% chance on monsters, 25% chance on bosses. This just feels good. Now we'll get into some of this modded armor stuff. This is mostly going to be from my Ravenwood Beast mod. We've got some of this stuff here. So let's just say each one. Oh, let's do the Scout. Let's do Warsong Scout and see if we can get any of the neck armor items to drop here. We should get maybe 2 items out of 100 here. As you see, these have reinforcements. Alright, let's see if we see anything. Trophy. Here we go, we got an item here. It's one of the items. We happen to get the same one. That's unlucky, but it's part of the set there. So that set is dropping. And same thing, if we go to any of these, we'll have a chance. Let's check that one. So I don't even know what this one drops. We'll find out. Oof, okay. Definitely dropping wood. This one's a little bit hard to see. There we go, look at that. Boots, that's part of the set item there. And we got a helmet. That's 2 of the 3 right there. So that's just a neat little thing that I think, in addition to the normal drops. Let's go to the elves here. We'll do poison elves. Some trophies. Don't know if I see any set drops here. Let me look at. See if we can see those. This is the okay. That's one. We got a helmet there. Look at that. We got a soul. Essences. These are like also some extra base drops here, making it easier not to have to go to the trader so much. Another soul. Oh, there's a quiver. That's a cool looking quiver right there. That is from a couple of them. Alright. But yeah, all these are different sorts of things they can drop. Armory items here. Even got the steelwork stuff here. Steelstone dwarves. So let's do that. These guys have a little bit higher chance. Oh, reinforcements. The elites can summon the warriors can summon the normal dwarves, and that's kind of what just happened there, which also kind of cool. We got that's a trophy. Got platinum from Niflheim, iron scrap, all sorts of different stuff here. Hard to see. There's some cold steel from our Odin Steelworks. More cold steel. Mountain treasure. Thunderstones, okay. Alright. There's some other neat little things like straw hat having a 1 in 1,000 chance from samurai, and extra things here that you see. But yeah, so these monster reinforcements, this is super cool. See how long this video is. 40 minutes. Nice. Try to keep this under an hour. So yeah, so these are basically like pack creatures where you're going to get some extra backup of the same group type. And then undead reanimations have a chance to spawn themselves. The Draconic Retribution, similar concept, but it's going to have allies of a different creature. Like Motor has a chance to spawn some of the wild dragons here. Motor is Mountains tier, so it has a chance to spawn the Swamp and Mountain Dragon, while Fedor has a chance to spawn the Plains and Mistlands Dragon. And the wild dragons each have a chance to spawn the Drakes. And then the bosses have a chance to spawn 3 different types of creatures from that biome. As you see here, Ether could be spawning Greylings, Boars, Necks after it dies. These are all after the creature dies. That's how it works. It actually drops the monster itself as soon as it dies. And so the bosses have a chance to summon some of these after they die as well. So even things like Necks, 10% chance. So if I just spawn Neck times 10, one of these should spawn 1 to 2 necks. Yeah, we got 3 of them. These even have a chance to spawn more necks. Probably won't, but now if I spawn 40 necks, we're probably going to make it 2 rounds. Alright, so here's 1. We're definitely going to get some more. Now let's see if these happen to spawn more. Probably going to get at least 1 more. Yeah, so we got 1 more. We made it to round 3 there. Now if I spawn... Maybe we'll make it to round 4. We'll see. We're on round 3. Oh, we didn't even make it to round 3. That was bad luck. Alright, let's do one last round here. 1, 2. Definitely going to get more this time. We got 1. Okay. It is random. But as you see here, the elites have a chance to drop Draugrs, brutes have a chance to drop Grey Dwarfs, and so on. The elites normally can drop the weaker selves. And this can scale. Again, this is a better example here. If we do an elite dwarf, let's do 100. Okay, when these die, they have a chance to spawn warriors. So we're going to get a few warriors at least. Now these warriors have a chance to spawn the dwarves, just a standard dwarf. And we got some dwarves. So you kill 1 elite, you could end up getting a warrior, and then that warrior could end up spawning a dwarf. So that's a pretty cool, I think that's pretty cool. It makes the game a little bit more challenging, unpredictable. Same thing with the undead creatures, they have a chance to spawn themselves back after you kill them. Pretty low chance, but it's still a chance. And then again, we have the wild dragons here. So if we kill Fedor, is going to be a little bit nuts. But if we kill, let's do spawn Fedor times 10. Probably one of these. We're probably going to get at least 1 wild dragon here. Let's see what happens. That's just 10 kills. Let's see if we get one. Takes a minute here. Oh yeah. Oh, and we did get a wild dragon. We got a lightning dragon. Plus, we got some Valkyries. We probably got some vultures, and then I think there's also charged warriors, yeah. So we got all those, and we got 1 wild dragon. That's 10 kills. So if we just kill him 1 time, you may not get anything. Or you may get 1 of the things. You're probably not going to get more than 1, but you could. Takes forever. We still got, oh, he must have undead reanimation there. And I didn't get anything that time. Do Modor. This is just going to be 1 motor kill. It's a little bit faster than Fedor here. And we got a wolf. We got some bats. That's kind of cool. 2 bow mouse. Let's do 10. Got some oozes, some blobs, and I think there's another creature. There's got to be a 3rd one. Couldn't get it. But you see how that scales though when you get oozes. do 10 more bone mass. I think there's a third one. Is that what it was? Draugr. Okay, so Draugr is the third one. Okay. We can do... Alright, Goblin King here obviously is going to spawn, pretty sure, all 3 types of goblins. Probably get Shamans, Brutes, and normal goblins. Once we can see. And we ended up just getting some goblins, and looks like we got a shaman. We didn't get any brutes this time. If I do it again, we'll probably get some brutes. I think I've seen it. Yep, there we got brute right there already. And then those brutes can, again, summon other goblins, so... Let's do... There's 10 ether. An elder. Let's see what we got from ether. We got some boars, some necks, and greylings. And then over here, I think it's grey dwarfs. Yep, grey dwarf brutes, shamans, and grey dwarfs. Exactly. And did we miss any? Oh yeah, the queen. And this, I'm assuming, is going to be Seekers to fit the theme here. Probably going to be Seekers. Yep, we got Seeker Soldiers. We also got the Brood, and then we got normal Seekers. Alright. So that's kind of how that works. Neat little thing there. And now we're getting into Niflheim. So for Niflheim, I'm going to go ahead and go over to where I got some build pieces set, and this is just something I was doing just in a moment. This is my Egyptian mod. This is a different mod. This is kind of cool though. You can easily find this mod on my mod page if you like this sort of scenery here. All these pieces are all from the Egyptian mod as far as the build pieces here. Anyways, let's get to the portal. Niflheim. And so I've made it to where you can play Niflheim again. It's an unfinished mod. And when I mean unfinished, I mean unfinished. But there's a lot of cool stuff, so I spent weeks just making this playable again. By having these primary resources, which is platinum ore and deadwood, can drop from certain creatures. The Elder will drop deadwood. Draugrs will drop deadwood. We should probably get at least a couple deadwood. Yeah, we already see some deadwood there. Dragons can drop platinum, so can the dwarves. If I spawn, I don't know, Motor, I think we can get some platinum from Motor if I remember. Let's see. Oh, we got a dragon reinforcement there. Silver ore. I'm pretty sure the dragons have a chance to drop platinum as well. Yeah, I think that's platinum there. Is it? Nope, that's silver. Oh, this is actually one of the Niflheim weapons. Each boss has a 12% chance to drop a Niflheim weapon, which I have reconfigured and rebalanced to fit the biome. By default, they're not balanced at all. Let's see if... Pretty sure these drop the platinum. Oop, I spawned on accident. So now it's going to find at least one. Okay, so there is another one besides that one. Somewhere here, there is platinum somewhere in here. There it is, platinum, 16 platinum ones. So yeah, dragons do drop the platinum. Speaking of this platinum, let me actually grab that. There we go. Right, let's grab that. Let's remove this. When you do get platinum, we can use blast furnace. Blast furnace, yes. this should make the platinum bars. Alright, this should be making a bar in just a second. We'll find out for sure. There we go. We got our platinum bar, and bam, we have this now. So that is going to unlock your Niflheim stuff, which with my configurations, I have them all, I have the tabs changed. So with the Drop That mod, I have also uploaded my Niflheim configuration separate from the Drop That configuration file. So you're going to want to keep that configuration file if you want to see these in these tabs and then all the changes that I've made. You're going to need this mod plus that configuration file for Niflheim. So you download Niflheim, I have the configuration from this mod and the Drop That mod configuration file, and then all this should be set up as you see here. You're only going to have 4 items here, which these are pretty cool. You're going to have a bunch in this building tab here. There's quite a few items. You're looking at like 200 building items here. And I'm going to show you all these items really quick, but it's a lot of stuff. And only a few of these I don't have enabled by default because it's kind of like they're cheating here. Like these 4, I have the cheat sort on because it just does things I don't want. And then there might have been one other item that like did something crazy. I don't remember what it was. It was one of these, but anyways. So yes, there's a platinum. First, you can see a couple of the items here. Here are the weapons. So we'll go over the weapons first here. So this is going to drop from the meadows boss. Then we have our forest, swamp, mountains, plains, mistlands, and ashlands weapon. These, these look kind of plain, but they each have some pretty decent effects from the way that I've configured them. They're pretty strong for the biome. You cannot upgrade them. They're non-upgradable. So they basically come in at about like what would be an upgrade 3. I didn't put them on like a 4 status, but they're kind of unique in what they do. And we can see, for example, this is going to be the base stats for the Meadows boss. So you kill Ether, you get a 12% chance of getting this, which is pretty good for what it does. That's pretty good. And then let's find the bow. This bow is unique because it's going to fire 2 shots at once. So the damage is actually double what it looks like here. So if I... oops. There we go. So again, this is going to fire 2 shots. So it says 20 damage. I'm going to do 2 of those. See, there's 2 hits there. And I think we've got frost damage. So from killing the Elder, this is actually a pretty freaking cool bow. It's going to shoot twice, it's only 6 stamina, and it's got the frost there. So, and that frost is super cool because it's going to help you slow your enemies down, whatever it is. Get a little slow. So this has a really cool effect, I think. And then some of these other ones, I'm just kind of filling them in because a lot of these are extra things and they just don't work. Like a lot of the stuff you see, they just don't work, so I've only used what works. And so we have a crossbow here, which for swamp biome, that's pretty cool. This is actually kind of interesting because this is, you have your AoE weapon here, and I don't know, I'm just kind of making up a random scenario here, but this is kind of nuts. And a lot of these are going to be doing frost damage. And I don't know if this one has Spirit or not, but let's see, what do we got on this? Yeah, it's got some Spirit. So this is going to be useful as well against any sort of undead sort of creature. That is going to be from Modor. But again, this is going to be an AoE weapon. You're not going to single target with this weapon. And then we have yeah, more, I just kind of was kind of having to fit these in place. We got our Sacred Axe, Morning Star, and Well. So the Morning Star is that the next one? Yeah, it's the next one. So you can see it's like the one pierce weapon, but you got blunt, pierce, frost, and spirit. So it's just kind of a hybrid weapon there. And then we got the Mistlands one. Again, we got blunt, slash, and spirit. And spirit is actually very useful, obviously, in the Ashlands. So any sort of these right here is going to do a little bit extra damage with the spirit there. And then lastly we have our flail, which has also got some spirit damage and frost. So now we've got frost, and it's doing blunt and pierce damage. So it's doing a lot of stuff now. Got this a little bit different of these guys are just destroying me. It's gonna have all these different sorts of things here, but these cannot be upgraded. So they're still not gonna be you can still craft your own gear and create better weapons, but these are really cool just to get off of a boss if you ever get them. And finally, we're going to get into these crests. So these are the same, but for some reason, whenever you get these crests, so for example, let me find the... yeah, so this is one of the 12 monsters that can drop one of these. So there's 12 crests, and I gave them to 12 different monsters. So this is going to be one of them. And they're pretty rare. I think it's 5%. So I'm just going to summon 20 of these, and maybe we'll get a crest. We got some reinforcements here. Let's see if we get a crest. Yep, there we got a crest. So this one drops this one. It's only going to drop this specific crest. So now if I pick up this crest, I can now build this crest from our menu here. This one. So here we go. We have this crest. I'm just going to throw it over here. But whenever I try to build it, it wants to build it backwards for some reason. If I do it here, it starts to disappear. Again, it's an unfinished mod. I don't know why it does this, but that's just what it does. It does that. So you have to build it backwards, or there's a trick here that I figured out. I can place the items, not that one. We can do this one. So we can place this right here. So now if I want, I can do something like this. So I can place it on the side. We'll pick this up. We'll just get another crest here. And now whenever I place this here, oh, I got it on the wrong side. I gotta turn it. Gotta make sure we turn it the right way. Let's see if this is right. Bam. That one, I might need to turn it the other way. Let's try it. Let's go 1, 2, 1, 2. You can figure it out. Basically, you can, let's see if this works. Oh, okay, so that's the other way. So, but if you play with this enough, you can get it to where these will all look normal. And for some reason, I picked the 1 out of the 12. Apparently, you can see these sticking through just a little bit on some of them, but it's up to you what you prefer. They're still pretty cool. They're like extra trophies. I think they're pretty cool. So they're 12 different elite monsters can drop these. They each drop 1. It's about 5% chance. Now we have our feast. These each drop from a different boss. These are not in order. But each boss has a chance to drop feast. You can see here the meadows, forest, and so on to ashlands. And here are the stats are over here. We can see the stats. And you can even, I think 4 or 5 of these we can craft. The other ones that just would not let me, and I could not fix that. So yeah, so we can craft these. This is going to be the Ashlands one. And we have these different materials. These materials will randomly drop from some of the monsters, so that you can craft these if you want. But But it's not going to be super easy to craft these. These each have 40-minute durations. But it's only one use. So it's not a normal feast. It's just a one-time use. But pretty decent stats. And these are how they look here. And again, they have, I think, a 25% chance to drop from bosses. And you can, yeah, here's the stats on the feast here. And these are the weapon informations here. See the pictures again of all the weapons here. Then we have stuff about the ores. These are the things that are used in the recipes for the feast that can drop from various monsters. Then we have, and here's the crest here. And finally we have this alchemy table, where we can use some of also those things that drop to make some stuff. Some of the stuff is going to be difficult, like a repair potion. Some of these are going to be like probably Mistlands or Ashlands here. We're going to use these essences a lot for these potions. Basic equipment here. This one's going to require a little bit more. You're going to need these two things as a main ingredient for the potions. And you'll figure this stuff out pretty quickly. Like you can see here, that's going to be like an Ashlands tier thing. Simple health potion, not that difficult. Medium potion here. Then we have our major health potion here. It's going to be like a Mistlands tier potion here. And there's a couple candle type items here. Restores rested bonus. But there's more, but the other ones are kind of broken. So this is what I was able to keep into the mod. So it's kind of useful. These are pretty useful. These 3 potions are pretty useful. And some of the other ones you'll find useful once you get closer to the end game. Like being able to repair is super powerful. But again, it's going to be very expensive to do that. And then here's some notes. We're going to get to the building items last. Yeah, again, this is an unfinished mod in Niflheim that I've just tried to make playable. I think adding these feasts and weapons are kind of cool, and then these little championship crest. Again, we have an alchemy table you can build in the crafting. These are the alchemy tables. We'll get back to this building here. These are the 4 miscellaneous items. We got a little Krampus here. Then we have, this is cool. This is really unique. You gotta be careful though, because anything, I can pretty much put anything on this, I think, but once it's on there, it's there forever. So if I want to display a trophy, I can put a trophy here. But once it's there, I don't think you can get it back. And it's gonna stay there, like forever. It's just stuck. It's pretty much like almost like a little boss altar. You can put anything you want there. It doesn't even have to be a trophy. It can be anything. Let's see if I can find. That's over here. Yeah. So I can again. We can do that here. Let's see if I can. I'll just pick a random item here of anything. Yeah, I mean we can put. It doesn't even have to be that. It can be freaking potion, probably whatever the hell this is. Bam, that'll go there. But no, that's going to be stuck there forever. It's not going to let me get that back. So you can decorate with this. This is pretty cool. Cool little way to display trophies or whatever you want. Weapons. It's a really cool way to do that. And these are some of the build pieces here. Again, got all these build pieces here and here. And these are just what they look like. This is pretty much all the build pieces here. You get different floors, you get stairs, walls, gates. Those little glass ones are pretty cool. Got a lot of different floor types here. That's all those. But yeah, these are pretty cool. I like these. And then we have little bookcases. It's a functional ladder. Some of these actually have storage space. One of these, I think the wrecking altar we got to be careful with. It's something can summon a boss. That is one that we may not have. We may not have that one in. I don't think it's actually called wrecking altar. in the thing. I think it's called something else. Podium. Yeah, so podium, you're not going to get this one because, now you can use it, but it's going to summon a boss. Now by default I put it to troll instead of something else. But when you click on this, it's trying to summon a boss that doesn't exist. So we can change this in the configurations to be any boss that we want. So this is something that you admins can play with. I believe it's going to summon a troll here is what I have a troll. But we can go into our Niflheim configs, northern assets here, and we're going to probably want to search for podium, I think is what it was. Yes. Let's see if we can get a rat. Let's see what this goes on here. Somewhere I can edit. Yes, here it is. So it's in the general settings. So we can edit what actually spawns here. It's a fallback thing. Right here it is, right here. So you can put this anywhere you want, and then it can summon whatever monster you want. So this is a cool admin tool. It's just disabled by default. So this is something you can play with. You can have whatever monsters you want spawn. That's pretty cool. Disabled by default. This one's normal. It's like a little item stand here, I assume. I don't even, I haven't tried messing with this, but let's just click on a weapon and we'll see if it works. Okay, so that works. Some of these might even be storages. Yeah, so we got storages here too. Those all work as storages. Got some. Oh, this is really cool. Actually, we can write a book here. Yeah, so we read it and it's going to read that for you. So you can like put little things out in the world. So that's pretty cool. Got functioning little benches here. These are kind of replicates of the potions. Some of these I know work as storages. Yeah, so some of these work as storages. You get even a personal chest here. Then, oh yeah, that's some notes I had for that. Pretty cool looking fireplace here. Crypt key. This we can actually make here. Can make it. I could not change this recipe, so it is what it is. And now that works. Different doors here. That's kind of cool. Some lights. And finally we have a couple banners and some stuff that hangs on walls. That is everything. And this was only an hour and 8 minutes. So I think that's pretty much everything as far as the mod goes. And there will be more stuff added. And again, the mod, currently what you've seen is Elemental Dragons. You can click on this, open it up. You've got some modded armor drops from these two mods. Here, so Epic Loot, South Seal, and Niflheim. So again, Niflheim is an unfinished mod. It's going to say this, but you can download it. You use my configuration file, and you use this drop that file, and it'll work as I've seen here. This is the mod from the scenery you saw at the beginning, and that's pretty much it. See you guys.